Everyone, it's Harvey from Weather Swan Drop. Today is March 20th, 2021, and it's the first day of spring. And today we are going to talk about the potentially major severe weather threat that could happen along the East Coast headed into next week and to begin spring. And we'll also talk about the next potential most likely snowstorm that will occur in the northern Midwest states. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content, and make sure to share with friends and family. So let's begin by taking a look at the map I made regarding which locations will experience which sort of impacts headed into next week. At least the potential of these impacts, and you see that now I listed the Northeast as a major player in terms of getting severe weather, and I was looking over the computer models, and I really began to think I'm really beginning to think that we could maybe see the severe weather threat head further northward into the northeast, and I'll show you guys why in just a second. But you see that the severe weather threat could impact as far south as maybe Florida, and then extends all the way potentially maybe up to New England. So you guys need to at least be aware of this all throughout the East Coast. And then you see just so west of it, you see that in to the northwest of the severe weather threat, you have we could see a potentially major snowstorm in the northern Midwest states where up to a foot of snow is possible. But let's begin by taking a look at the European model. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm a little bit too zoomed out right now. So zooming into the map and the current forecasted radar from the European model, you're going to see that now the European model is having more confidence that we're going to see more of a major snowstorm in the Midwest, and we're likely going to see some sort of low pressure system form along the East Coast and could bring heavy rain and severe weather. And while there's still a lot of days out to iron out this forecast, as you can see, the low pressure develops right around the Midwest, and we see an abundance of precipitation just to the south of it. And while it is very, and while the European model has been pretty much pushing for this forecast to actually come through and is really lenient on making this forecast come true, it's still very uncertain in because we're still like over 6 days out from the actual event, so a lot could change with the forecast. And you see that behind this first low pressure system, another low pressure system forms as a result of how much unstable air there will be right around the Midwest. And you see there's a large line of precipitation on the backside, and we do see a large squall line of, I'd say, heavy rain or thunderstorms. And I think they do potentially have the possibility to be severe and could impact the Northeast with maybe heavy rain and even strong winds, because now the European model is really lenient on making this storm develop rapidly and quite strong at 981 millibars, which is equivalent to some powerful hurricanes. So we definitely don't want to sleep on this storm because it could bring some heavy rainfall, severe weather, along with strong winds, could be a multi multi-threat type of storm. And what's interesting is that it's bringing snow to northern Canada. However, one of the concerns I have is that if the cold air is just far south enough, by the time the low pressure system moves up north, maybe portions of the Midwest and the Great Lakes states could get in on some of the snow to make it to bring maybe decently sized or maybe even a big snowstorm to the northern Midwest states. I can't rule that out. However, at this point, both the computer models are lenient on mainly making this a rain event. However, a powerful rain event with heavy rain, so we need to keep a close eye on it. It really all depends on how much unstable air there will be as a result of this jet stream dip, because if there's more unstable air, that means that the low pressure is more likely to rapidly develop, and that means it's more likely to bring heavy precipitation all throughout the East Coast. So we need to keep a close eye on how far south that jet stream dips, and how far south that jet stream dips really all depends on how powerful this initial low pressure system is, because if this low pressure system is power is if this first low pressure system that's expected to bring snow to the Midwest is powerful enough, then that means that the winds surrounding it will be stronger, and especially the north wind will be stronger. And since the wind would be stronger, then that would mean the jet stream would dip further southward. However, if this initial trough is weaker, then it's less likely to bring the strong northerly wind component to the Midwest, and as a result, the jet stream dip won't be as big to set the stage for maybe a potentially major flood or severe weather threat for the East Coast. We just have to wait and see. It's amazing how much how powerful the butterfly effect is when it comes to weather, because one thing could change really everything else in the world when it comes to the trajectory of low pressure systems or ridges and the impacts we'll see. So we just have to wait and see how powerful this first low pressure system is, and its and its trajectory as well, because that will also determine how powerful it will be to bring down jet stream further southward to create an area of unstable air right around the Midwest states. We just have to wait and see. But you see that if this were to come for fruition, you see by around Thursday, you guys in the Southeast should begin experiencing some precipitation and convection. And as early as late Wednesday, you guys should experience some precipitation throughout Texas and the Southeast. And this will extend to Thursday. And then Friday, you see an abundance of rain throughout the East Coast, pretty much along the Appalachian Mountain Range as a result of this jet stream dip. And this is concerning because it's going to be very powerful with strong winds, most likely, by how powerful it is. So maybe it could bring a power outage threat to the Northeast. We have to wait and see how much unstable air there will be, because that will be huge in determining the strength of this storm and the power of these thunderstorms. Let's take a look at the GFS model in severe weather terms, because it'll give a good idea of the chance of severe weather we'll see with this next low pressure system. So as you can see, if we move forward, you see that there's a decent amount of surface-based CAPE, and CAPE pretty much means convective available potential energy, and you see this is enough to produce some severe weather in the south. And if we move forward, you see that it extends just off the Gulf Coast a little bit, so maybe those along the Gulf Coast are very close. I mean, not the Gulf Coast, the Gulf Stream, but maybe those states pretty close along the Gulf Stream could experience some severe weather from this next low pressure system. However, there's still a lot to iron out. It really all depends on the unstable air we will see in the along the East Coast. But outside of that low pressure system, we also need to keep track of this next low pressure system, because it could dump a pretty big amount of snow throughout the Midwest. If we take a look, there's a large area of snow throughout Minnesota, and this extends to South Dakota and Nebraska as well. And you see that it's going to originate from the Pacific Northwest from a jet stream dip that will create enough unstable air to create a formidable low pressure system, and it will move up northward, and there will be just enough cold air in Minnesota to make it a pretty big snow event. Now, as a GFS yesterday wasn't expecting as big of a snow event. However, now for Minnesota and mainly for Minnesota, it's forecasting a pretty big snow event for some areas, especially if you're along the extreme northern portions of Minnesota, which is definitely something to keep in mind. However, if we take a look at the European is still leaning on bringing a major snowstorm to a lot of the Midwest, not even Minnesota, but this extends to South Dakota as well, and Nebraska could get involved. So the European been a little bit more lenient on bringing that snowfall throughout the Midwest and bringing a more impactful event overall. If we take a look at the forecasted snow totals from the European model, if we move forward, you see that around 7 days from now, over a foot of snow is expected just north of Minneapolis, and we do see a large area of 6 to 12 inches throughout a lot of Minnesota and South Dakota. So this is concerning because over 6 inches of snow, in my book, is considered a major snowstorm. So next week, you guys at least need to be aware right around Minnesota, South Dakota, and Nebraska that there could be the possibility of a snowstorm. There's still a lot that could change because we're forecasting a snowstorm around 5 days out. So definitely the trajectory, it still has yet to be seen. The exact trajectory, the amount of cold air will be huge in determining how much snow we will see. But since both of the computer models have been leaning on bringing at least some sort of snowstorm right around Minnesota, I think it's more likely than not we will see at least some snow somewhere in the northern Midwest states. The exact track and the exact snow totals you'll experience still have yet to be seen, but you guys definitely in the northern Midwest need to be at least aware of this. And really, what will be a big factor in determining how much snow is the amount of cold air located in Minnesota, the Dakotas as well. Because if there isn't enough cold air, then it's mainly going to be a rain event. But if there is enough cold air, or even more cold air, this could affect areas even further southward to where Minneapolis might be now involved in a foot of snow. So still a lot of uncertainty. Just keep in mind of that. And stay tuned to your local forecast right around northern Midwest states and especially the East Coast, where we could experience another big severe weather and rainfall threat for a multitude of states. And it's going to just add insult to injury to those who already just experienced a pretty big severe weather outbreak last this pat over the past few days. So it's definitely something that's definitely not needed, but there's still some hope that there's still at least a chance it might not be severe at all. But with both the computer models leaning on bringing some sort of jet stream to the southeast, I think I think a severe weather event is definitely within the range of possibilities throughout the southeast and throughout the east coast in general, even extending to the northeast, where you typically don't see severe weather this early. But in this case, it seems like there is certainly that possibility. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. And I hope you guys have a good day.